My name is Lim Sokchanlina, and I'm an artist from Cambodia. I'm based in Phnom Penh. Basically, I am study economics. I start from 2006, and that's where I start from 2006 with photography as well. And then I finished bachelor degree in 2010, so it's 4 years. But I still keep doing photography, and I study with a French photographer. His name is Stéphane Genis. After we study for 1 year, so after that, some of the students, including myself, we form as a collective from 2009, and I keep continue with photography from there. But after I graduate from economic university, I didn't do in the economics professionally. I keep doing photography. So basically, I never did as an economist, but I always become a photographer so far until now, become a visual artist. Yes. I have to acknowledge is my uncle Lim Sokchanlina. He's the first person who introduced me to photography class. Let me try, and I try. I really love it. And then I developed my own personal tastes and styles, and start something from my point of view. And I also research a lot and study myself a lot from many international photographers and local photographer as well. So from international photographer, at first what I remember is came from Andrew Gasky, some Chinese photographers, and a lot come from Mekong photography as well, like Henri Cartier-Bresson, because basically I was earlier so interested in documentary, but later on until now I'm developing into conceptuals and extending to more video art, some performance, and also installation. Yeah. Again, it starts from a very documentary style, and then developing to conceptual. By seeing photography is limited, I extend my stuff to videos, to a site-specific performance, and doing some installation as well. So it's keep expanding, but basically at first come from photography that I start quite a systematic photo documenting and also exploring the conceptuals in the photography and the societies. And basically my interest a lot into society, politics, economics, and cultures and environmental change in Cambodian in relate to the globalization. So these practicing by using different medium, photography, video, installations, and performance, is try to call their attentions into the societies and the issue that have been raised. Thing is always changed, and my art practice is always changed too, because it's always developed from one to another, expand from photography to video. They are not far different, but they are different too. And video is more dynamic, is way more complex, and it can represent more diversity of the information, diversity of the issue. Also, in one way, it's a moving image, so it's create more feeling to connect with audience beyond photographies. So that is already developing and expanding to also the installation, the site-specific performance. It's also developing because some expression that I want to express doesn't work with photo or video. It works with performance. But of course, when I did performance, I use photography or video to document the performance. So it's basically somehow a site-specific performance for video and photography, or installations for video and photography. So to me, from early of my time 2009 until now, the photography and video is expanding and still a major medium for me, but in installation, site specific installation, and also performance. So I see this is developing. Yeah, I think art is very important. Everything is art. We need art to create a better living, a better human conditions, because otherwise, yeah, I mean, it's really important in one particular like that. In related to society, it's also important because society is very complex. Human society is even more complex, so that somehow you cannot explain by writing, somehow you cannot explain by a direct expression, but you explain by an art expression. So this is how art can relate to society, and how art can translate or can reveal the complexity of the societies in a very casual, soft way, but also very powerful way. What I can remember now and what I like, I think, is the Rap Feature 2, which is I built, the corridor, blue, yellow, a blue, green, red fence, metal corridor, blue, green, red fence inside a landscape. So basically, I installed the fence inside the landscapes, and they are 2 meter high, 5 meter wide, inside different landscapes in many provinces, many landscapes in Cambodia. This to me, it's a very physical work, but also conceptual, which require me to traveling a lot to the province, see different landscapes, experience different communities, work with a lot of different people, and also I have to manage a lot of logistic to make it happen inside the river. How can you bring a fan and build it in the rivers? How can you bring a fan and build it in the sea or on top of the mountain? So this is a very require a lot of works that I need to have some assistance. So basically, it's involved me even already 1 year or 2 years. I haven't finished it yet, but I really enjoy it a lot. Yeah. This is my latest projects, and I have been started from 2017, originally 2015, but I paused for 2 years, and then I start again from 2017, start to write proposal. 2018 I start to have a residency, many residencies so far. So basically it's about Cambodian migration in Asia, and I call it as a conversation because these projects or research would never be finished. Even if I finish my project, someone can take over, because Cambodian migrant project or migrant in general is really big projects, huge projects. So basically it is in Asia, and my plan is in 6 countries, including Singapore, Japan, Thailand, Malaysia, South Korea, and Hong Kong as China. So I was interesting why Cambodian have start quite recently migrants to work abroad as a contract migrants, and they work in many sectors, including construction is the most, fishing industrial, fishings. In Japan, they work a lot with industrials, factory, including metal factories. They're also working in taking care of elder in Japan. As we may know, Japan have a lot of elders. Also in Singapore, there are only Cambodian women who work as a helpers, domestic helpers. In South Korea, there are so many of them working in many different fields, including agriculture, including constructions, some service. Yeah. So my latest one is was in Thailand, and I'm focusing on Cambodian fishermen in Thailand. There are many Cambodian in Thailand. There are approximately is around 1.5 million, legally or illegally, and they work in many different fields. I could not cover everything in just only 2.5 months while I'm there, so I'm literally focusing on Cambodian fishermen, because this is what I had been at first curious about, why Cambodian migrant a lot to abroad from 2015 by looking at Cambodian fishermen in Thailand. So by coming back last 2 months, I was there is focusing on Cambodian fishermen, yes. And a lot of them come from my hometown, actually, my home province, Prey Veng province. And accidentally I went to an ice factory who supply the ice to all the boat that went, for like 1 week on the sea, so they need ice to freeze their fish. So yeah, accidentally I met a guide. We start the conversation. During the conversation, he mentioned that I familiar you from somewhere, until you tell me that you are come from the hometown of Melop Prey Veng, and he come from Thnaut. So these two villages is close by to each other. So basically, he know my parents. He drink with my dad, and he drink sometime in my New Year's. And then when I was there, that's why he's familiar me. So basically, that's quite surprise to me, and it's very interesting for me. Not even now, I haven't made anything in Pattani, where a lot of my hometown province people came. But I hope to make to go back in the future to make some works. So yeah, basically in total it's 7 provinces, and I made a lot of video footage and some interview, some landscape photos.